So, Doran, one thing that you said in here, real subtle, but really important because it's exceptionally rare. I mean, there are companies, not as many as it used to be, frankly, that are values driven and articulate their values. And my belief is it's because, again, everything's urgent all the time. So
Right.
this is pushed over to the side, even though it's so important. But you said you also prioritize or rank order your values.
Yes.
And the only other organization that I've known who used to historically do that would be Disney. So when they would teach their cast members their values, they would rank order those. So tell us a little bit about the process of rank ordering. Was that challenging, and how do you drive that today? I mean, because most companies just say, here are 5 values, and they're almost communicating they're equally important. And you make the important point that typically in manufacturing settings, safety is always a value, and it's typically number one because there's so many opportunities to get hurt. What was it like to go through the process of ranking them, and how do you kind of encourage that or lead that way?
That's a great question, and it is very interesting when you get into you think, well, yeah, they're all important, and we were challenged by the person that we brought in to really think about that. And so we had our first 3 are safety, people, and customers, and those 3 alone, you get some very interesting conversations, right? People are like, well, it's all about people. People is our biggest asset. People needs to be number one. And then it's all about customers, right? We wouldn't exist if we didn't have customers. And so that's where I think a facilitator can really help ask tough questions. You really need to think about some specific scenarios. And so for us, it was, hey, if we don't keep our people safe in a manufacturing environment, then nothing else we do matters, and we won't have customers, and no one will come and work for us. So for us, that's kind of the process that led us down the road to prioritize them. The thing that we did that was kind of fun to help people remember them in order was we created a mnemonic challenge. And this is maybe an idea people can have. And so if you don't know what a mnemonic is, right, it's you take the first letter of a series of words. And we came up with a challenge and a contest where we gave somebody, a couple $100 to go out to dinner to come up with one. And someone came up with one for us that was this: simply put, Chemex is quite perfect. Chemex being the name of our company. And so that was a real fun way. And we got some very colorful and interesting ones for people. And now it's really easy for people to remember that phrase. And then I will do this at company meetings from time to time, saying, and I'll call people out by name sometimes. Simon, please stand up and tell us what are the 6 values of Chemex in order. And they'll think of this little phrase and they can do it in order, because I remember them in order, but I also want everyone in the organization to remember them in order. So we had some fun with that too along the way. But you really do, you're right. I hadn't thought about Disney as an example, but I think that's a great point. For us, there was value in saying, if you get into a conflict, what is going to trump what in your values hierarchy? And it's an interesting exercise that brings a lot more fruit and definition to your values as an organization.